Your appreciation of the USS Utah means a lot to a lot of people. And it's great to see so many people here today. We have a few honored guests. They're all going to be speaking except the boss. She decided that I'm going to let my guys do the work today. And they do it every day. So we have 3.5 Pearl Harbor survivors. The other half is running a little late. I'll introduce them as we go through the program. We're very fortunate and blessed today to have a beautiful young lady who's a country singer who is going to bless us today by singing our national anthem. Tana Warnock. The guests please rise for the national anthem.
Mic check. Leon. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in there, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Chaplain Jason, yes, I should have led that applause. Beautiful job. Chaplain Jason Reagan, an old buddy of mine, who between the two of us coordinated about maybe 30 or 40 ash gatherings of Pearl Harbor survivors. We were a good team. He's going to be doing the invocation.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening. I invite you to pray with me. Almighty God, with a contemplative spirit, we gather near the battle-scarred remains of the USS Utah to remember the lasting legacy of the men who served on her 75 years ago. As we pay tribute to members of this great generation, we pray that this time of memorial rightfully distinguish their honorable service and courageous sacrifice. This evening we remember sailors like Chief Water Tender Peter Tomich and Fireman Second Class John Vason, who remained at their post after the torpedoes hit in order to afford opportunities for their shipmates to escape. We remember the tireless efforts of the sailors led by Lieutenant Commander Solomon Isquith, who returned to the capsized ship to rescue as many as possible. We remember our shipmates who tragically lost their lives in defense of our nation. God, we come together to remember. And for those of us who wear the cloth of our nation today, may we honor the men who served in this place by emulating their honorable integrity and unswerving fortitude. For we know they, as well as so many in their generation, sacrificed much so we might experience the freedoms we enjoy today. Lord, thank you for your presence with us as we remember, reflect, and pay tribute to the men of the USS Utah, their families, and this amazing American generation. May our ceremony honor them well and be pleasing in your sight. And it's in your strong and holy name that I pray. Amen.
Now, please be seated. We're having a problem with the flowers falling, which is okay because the breeze will cool us off. The USS Utah, when the attack took place, was about twice as far out as it is now. Back in those days, all this grass was beach. And actually, water ended at the housing area there. That's okay. Can you imagine having to swim? All of the survivors on the Utah had to swim from way out there to a trench that was right by the street there. In the meantime, while they're swimming, the Japanese are trying to hit them with their machine guns, strafing them. So they had to swim above water, below water, above water, below water, until they made it all the way there. They were all three very lucky to, first of all, it was lucky they knew how to swim. But we're blessed to have them with us. I see we have a couple of new, 2 or 3 new recruits that just came on board. You're very welcome, Pearl Harbor survivors, wherever you are from. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jacqueline Ashwell, the Superintendent of the National Park Service here.
Good evening. It is an honor to be here with all of you this evening on the eve of the 75th commemoration of National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. We gather this evening to honor the 58 sailors who lost their lives when the USS Utah was struck and sunk by 2 torpedoes. We remember the valor of men such as Chief Water Tender Peter Tomlich, mentioned by the chaplain, who, when he realized that the ship was capsizing, did not run for safety, but who instead stayed at his post in the engineering plant, because he recognized that if the boilers blew, many more people would die. And so he stayed. He remained at his post, stabilized the boilers, and ushered those around him to safety but he ran out of time. He and 57 other men ran out of time. We gather to remember and to honor their sacrifice. It's also fitting to recognize that these 58 souls, they are not alone here. Over the decades, many veterans permanently returned here to Pearl Harbor. Their ashes cast into the water here surrounding the USS Utah. There are those who escaped the capsizing of the Utah, but also those who survived countless other dangers that were faced that day. Their ashes are here, mixed by the current with one another and with the sediment of the harbor, forever becoming a part of one another and a part of this place. So as we gather here, we honor not only the men of the Utah, but countless others who served their country with distinction and honor. Thank you for joining us this evening.
The USS Utah was a ship that trained thousands of sailors. One of the weirdest things of all is, can you imagine taking a ship out in the ocean, putting it in a weaving pattern, and being bombed by our own aircraft? It was training, and fortunately the bombs, they weren't really real bombs. They also trained the ships and the crews on the new weapons, the new guns that were coming online. The training that they provided helped our aircraft and our gun crews end the war for Japan, basically. It began the end of the war during the Battle of Midway. The training that the pilots got managed to sink a couple battleships, our cruisers, the whole the cruiser fleet, aircraft carrier fleet anyway. And of course the ships shot down all the aircraft. So it's always been my own theory, because I love the ship so much, that the USS Utah actually won the war. After the attack, Gil Meyer served on the USS Detroit throughout the war. The USS Detroit pulled into, either the first or second ship to pull into Tokyo. He said it was quite a sight. And they witnessed the signature, or the signing of this surrender by the Japanese. I'm sorry for having a little problem here. Well, in closing, okay, I had some other remarks, but in closing, I want to read the names of the USS Utah survivors who, after they died, at their wish, came back and had their remains placed inside the ship. They're located in between the buoy, which is the bow, and the body of the ship. Robert Boykin, Robert Johnson, Carl Johnson, Guy Pierce, Thomas Molay, John Jones, Gene Seltzer, James Oberto, good close friend for me and others, Lee Susi, Gordon Sumner, believe it or not, Theodore Roosevelt. Last but far from least, a good friend for the entire USS Utah family, Cecil Caliban, whose entire family of about 27 people are sitting here tonight. Lieutenant Duna Hodge, United States Navy retired bandmaster, will now sound taps. Please rise. Both able. Keep your seats, Pearl Harbor survivors. It's okay. All right. Please be seated. Chaplain Lee. Oh boy, I almost really blew it big time. Tana. Tana's grandpa was on the USS Utah. We placed his remains inside the ship 6 years ago tonight. She loved her grandpa. She loved the USS Utah. Back then it was kind of like known as the Forgotten Ship. The Forgotten Ship is no more. Tana wrote a song about her pappy and the ship. Tana.
Oh, the year was 1941. Percy sent his youngest son across the sea to paradise to fight for us back home. A petty officer, brave and tall, he fought like hell, he gave it all. And a sea of pearls where the world stood by and watched what he'd become. Oh, the sky lit up like the 4th of July. The bombs fell down and the planes flew by. And a sleeping giant awoke that day when 2000 all sailors died. But a forgotten ship rests beneath the salty grave. Do you remember all those heroes and the sacrifice they made? Grandpa lived to tell the tale, and the memory stayed with him. For 6 to 9 years he worked her fingers to the bone. 3 kids she gave to Dave, 2 daughters and a son, but he never spoke about that day. On that forgotten ship, rest beneath the salty grave, till remember all those heroes and the sacrifice they made. Grandpa lived to tell the tale, and the memory stayed with him. The 69 years he dreamt about when he returned again. In his 8th year he lost his fight, and we were all with him that night. Oh, we watched him take his final breath, and we said our last goodbyes. Oh, we promised that we'd take him home to the ship he dreamt about so long, and lay him down with those brave souls in Pearl Harbor, where he belongs. On that forgotten ship, rest beneath the salty grave, to remember all those heroes and the sacrifice they made. Grandpa lived to tell the tale, and the memory stayed with him. For 69 years he dreamt about when he returned again. For 69 years he dreamt about when he returned to them.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Tana. Chaplain Lee, I'm back on track now. We'll do the benediction for us.
Would you please rise for the benediction, please? Mr. Taylor, other survivors who are here, you have inspired me today truly, as I have seen the deep reflection of your honor, courage, and commitment to help us in this generation remember. Play with me. O Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. We thank you for offering a portion of that majesty to us here in this place today, as we have remembered those who served so faithfully on the Utah. We thank you for those who have actually turned the legacy so that this forgotten ship is no longer carrying such a label. Thank you for these who have come today to watch and to hear the stories, to know of such valor and commitment, so that we might carry it into future generations, so that that flag on that pole there before us may continue to long wave. As we pause now and listen for the silent echoes that emerge from this water and speak to us on the wind, help us to embrace the deep realities of the sacrifices that were made for here, for us, for our nation. And I ask God that we will continue that legacy for generations yet to come. It has been said in another place like this that soon they will forget our words spoken. But we must never forget what was done here. May we carry it forward in our hearts and in our souls. Help us in just that task today, Lord, and through tomorrow and all our tomorrows. We pray this according to your great grace and in the name that you give us, by which we know you best. Amen.
That does it. That is the small but powerful, meaningful gathering that we have, our USS Utah family. And yes, we are family, and we've adopted a few. So that concludes the service, the ceremony. We have some wreaths here, and instead of trying to figure out who is who, I'm just going to ask the donators to take them out to the other end of the memorial. Thank you.